All right, I have a little nugget for you.
Okay.
The Warriors have not lost twice to an Eastern Conference team in the same season in all of your games as a Warriors head coach. Do you chalk that to preparedness, film study?
Just coaching. Some things you just can't deny. Pure coaching. And a little bit of talent.
Examining trouble spots.
No, honestly, we've had a hell of a run, and it's continuing because we've got great talent, and one of the hallmarks of our team is competitiveness, and I think in general, if we lose to a team, our guys take that to heart and respond, so hopefully that'll be the case because we had a bad loss to Boston a couple months ago.
Steve, like regular season games are obviously different than the playoffs, but for a team that you guys might see at that point, like what do you take away from regular season games that don't apply to the postseason? What's like important?
What do you take away from them in terms of what?
Like how would you break down like things that are actually applicable to a possible playoff series versus things that aren't important?
You mean in case you see the team later on? Well, you have a videotape to look at. That's the main thing. You got some things to study, and you got matchups to look at. So these are always interesting games when you play. When you know you've got a chance to be in the finals, and you know kind of who the potential opponents are, you always pay closer attention for that reason.
Steve, were you what was your take when Gordon Hayward got hurt, and were you a little surprised that the Celtics have been able to respond like that without him?
Obviously devastated for him, and I'm happy to see he's recovering well. And their recovery as a team without him has been amazing. Two losses to start the year, and then they just took off. So obviously a very well coached team, a lot of talent. They play well together. Biggest thing is they're the best defensive team in the league. They're playing with a purpose every night.
You guys have been pretty aggressive resting Andre, or when he's got a few things wrong, making sure that he sits. Did you think he was particularly bouncy last game? He looked pretty bouncy last game. And where do you think he is physically over the long haul, over the 4-year haul, or even just this season haul?
I think he's in good condition. I mean, we have to just monitor him all year and try to pace him. There are going to be nights where if he's banged up, we'll just rest him and try to make sure he's at his best come playoff time. That's the goal. And so we'll just kind of play it by ear and talk to him, talk to the staff, and look at the schedule and pick and choose some games, and just like we've been doing, and hope for the best.
Kevin Durant is listed as probable with a foot strain. Did this happen in game or practices? So
I had no idea that he was probable with a foot sprain.
We're required to list every little thing on the injury report.
Yeah. So I cut my hand here yesterday. I did. I opened up a plastic water bottle, and it's slight. Yeah, did not feel good.
Are you probable?
I'm probable. Well, sometimes you got to play on hard.
I guess after that, Pat was questioning the dirty status on Pat.
Pat's not going to play. He's out. You're back.
Now that Kyrie is on Boston, do you feel more of a sense of familiarity with Boston, considering you've played against Kyrie so much in so many high-stakes games?
Well, we know him awfully well, but obviously he's playing in a different system, playing with different teammates. But we know tendencies, and we know what he likes to do, and that doesn't mean we can stop him. We definitely can't stop him, but we can hopefully get him into positions where we can send help and make things as difficult as possible for him.
Steve, your son obviously played with Jaylen at Cal, and he's really come on strong in his second year. What have you thought about his development the past couple of years?
He's been great. You could see the potential, obviously, just the size and the versatility when he was at Cal, and obviously that's what Danny Ainge was enamored with when he drafted him. You see where the league's going. It's all about versatile players who can guard multiple positions and handle the ball and shoot the ball. And I think they've done a really good job developing him. as well. You know, you can see the potential, but he's gotten dramatically better over the last couple of years. So he's turned into a great player.
Coach, in the games that you guys have lost against the Celtics, turnovers have been sort of high. How much do you stress that, and how much do you think the turnovers have been the reason why you guys haven't beaten them, you know, the last couple of times?
Yeah, those of you in the room know me. That's all I ever talk about is turnovers. But I think one of the reasons Boston has played well against us is because they've generally had very good guard play at the defensive end. Between Avery Bradley the last couple of years, Marcus Smart, Rozier. They've had a lot of guys who are really good in terms of pressuring the ball, getting into the ball. And so it's important for us to take care of and handle that pressure. When we handle the ball and we win the possession battle, we generally win the game. And we did not do that in Boston. I think they got 3 more field goal attempts and like 19 more free throws. So, you know, if you do the math, it's whatever, about 12 more possessions, and that's tough to handle, especially on the road. So we got to do a better job with that.
Steve, when you look at the last matchup and the other games where you guys have picked up a lot of fouls, what have been the usual causes for that?
You're talking about Minnesota, or you're talking about the last Boston?
The last Boston. Yeah, and other games where you guys have gotten a lot of fouls.
I thought Boston got really physical once we were up like 17, second quarter. I thought they got very physical. They took it to us, and when you're the aggressor, you are going to get the benefit of the doubt from the officials. We were on our heels, they were on the attack, and as a result, we were in a vulnerable position. We started reaching and making some silly fouls, but that was the killer. All their free throws was the difference in the game.
Is that it?
Excellent.
Great, thank you.
Open shortly.
All right.